Well, howdy, boys and girls. Nearly senior citizen here. I'm supposed to wear this at night when I sleep for sleep apnea. I stop breathing when I'm sleeping.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible, isn't it?
This thing forces air down my throat into my lungs all the time. So I inhale and my lungs go, but then exhaling is a little bit more difficult because I got this huge air hose pumping air into my lungs. So that even if I stop breathing, I'm hyperventilating. It's still got air circulating.
I am pretty worried, pretty scared about what's going on in my life right now. Because my wife died in March, and then a little after June, I had a tooth go bad back here. And it was an exposed nerve, and I couldn't eat. And so I went like at least a month where I couldn't eat. And I was drinking like Ensure stuff to make sure that I'd at least get nutrients. And since then, I couldn't eat, so I started losing weight then. But then, after I got the tooth out and things were okay and I started eating, I'm still losing weight. But then my stomach started to get really bad where, if I drink water, I feel like I'm going to throw up. If I eat like bland stuff, like a bowl of peas or a banana, half a glass of water, I drink that, I'm going to feel sick for hours and probably puke it up. But it's been about 2 weeks since I've thrown up. This morning, I woke up around 4 a.m. Stupid me, I fell asleep in my living room without my mask on. And so I immediately started drinking some Gatorade. Actually, it's Powerade. It's not Gatorade. And immediately started feeling sick to my stomach. An hour after I drank it, I said, I'm going to finally do one of these things. If I want to talk about how I'm not feeling good, I need to probably do it while I'm not feeling good. So I started getting set up, and before I could even sit down, I was throwing up. I just threw up like half a bottle of Powerade. It's been a while since I've thrown up. That was rather distressing. I really am thoroughly scared to death. So even when you see me doing my games and being just silly as all hell, I'm having fun and I'm being silly and because I'm nuts anyway. But this is always in the back of my head, because I got to get a tube down my throat so that they can take a look at my stomach and see if it looks anything rotten inside there. And then they're also going to stick a tube up my backside and take a look at my lower intestines to see if there's anything looking good down there. I don't imagine anything is going to look good down there. I got to find out what's going on, see if I'm really, really massively sick, because in June I weighed 320. About a week ago I weighed 216. Hey, I weigh 200, and I'm trying to eat when I can. I am eating. I'm stuffing hot dogs and apples and all that. I'm just hooning stuff down my neck, and it doesn't matter. I'm still losing weight. So, probably cancer. I smoke a lot of this these days. Ever since around July 4th, I started off only smoking marijuana 5 times a day, a little bit. I had like a bowl, sometimes 2 bowls if it really hurt. When I first woke up, around lunch, late afternoon, early evening, just before bed. That was okay. It brought my pain down to, for what it was amazing. It brought my pain down from to right here instead, which is good. But that, because the idea of doctors, and I go to the VA for my pain control, is Veterans Administration, is they're not trying to get rid of your pain. They're trying to make your pain tolerable. I understand that. It's partly a safety issue. I don't want my pain tolerable. I've lived through 10 years of it, and I imagine I've got more and more. And so I started smoking more often, and I discovered the more I did, the less I hurt. If I smoke every hour, I can also go a whole day without using any of my other pain meds. And I'll be feeling a good 90% pain free just from that. Have you heard about like these young kids who had the form of epilepsy where they're doing nothing but constant seizures all day? They don't have a life. And the parents are giving them what? Cannabis oil. And what happens? The kids are normal. They can live normal lives now. They're not having seizures anymore. This stuff is amazing. Plus, just like in our human bodies, where we have, where there's what's called endorphins when you get hurt, endogenous morphines, your body makes basically heroin when you're hurt. Your body also has an endocannabinol system, where when you need it, your body also produces THC. Amazing! How about that, huh? It's a part of us. And then, this is the bad part about smoking marijuana. It's still smoke and irritant as the delivery system for the THC. And CBDs and CBGs and Delta THCs and all those various pain-killing things in there. So even though it's an amazing thing and it kills cancer tumors and gives people their lives back, I got something going on inside of me that it is apparently not able to touch. Because, I mean, I can't eat because I'm nauseous all the time. If I eat, I'm likely going to puke it up. If I drink, if it's water, I'm going to puke it up. Normally, if I drank Gatorade, I'd be fine. This is the first time I puked up Gatorade. That is not a good sign. I do not know what the next horrifying stage of this is. But apparently my body is already semi-prone to cancer. 10 years and some ago, I had the colonoscopy, where they stuck a tube up my backside and they took a look inside. Because, especially as you get older, you'll find that you have polyps in your lower intestine. These polyps can become cancerous. And so you need to get them taken care of. I mean, it sounds funny. Oh, you've got polyps in your colon. It ain't funny because you don't take care of a precancerous polyp, and then 6 years later, you're in chemo dying of cancer. That ain't funny. That ain't funny. But they went and stuck a tube up my backside, and they removed 3 precancerous polyps then. Since then, I've been clear, but if I've got something that'll happen there, what might be happening elsewhere? And it might be so prevalent that cannabis can't touch it. And then it might be something really simple that's not dangerous. I just have to take a pill or get one simple cut somewhere, and it's done. I'm hoping it's that. I don't want to die. It's bad enough my wife died in March. Next month, I mean right now, today, it's February 11th, 2015. Next month is 1 year anniversary of my wife's death. And so she died, and then our cat died of approximately the same thing. I mean, it was the side effects of cancer that killed my wife from when she was a teen. But it was the liver failure that took her body. Kidney failure. I always mix those up, and I'm very sorry. Kidney failure that killed her body in the end. All of her organs were failing. It was like which one was going to fail first. It was her kidney. And then the cat died of kidney failure. I don't know why. I've been having a horrible time with my kidneys. They're getting better, though. I'm taking a gout medication, which is clearing urea crystals out of my system, which means it's also clearing urea crystals out of my kidneys, which is good. Your numbers on your kidneys are supposed to be like 0.8 to 1.1 is the normal range. You don't need to know what the numbers mean. It's just that if somebody takes your blood sample and they want to see how your kidneys are, the kidney number should be between 0.8 and 1.1. Well, mine's been up to 1.5 and brought down to 1.3, and it's slowly getting better. So I don't want to die of kidney stuff like everyone else in my family has been. And of course, my brother-in-law, just 3 days ago from today, 3, maybe 4, we had to ship him off by ambulance to the hospital because he was starting to have pain, horrible pain all over his body. And he's the kind of guy that if he was doing something and he accidentally cut his leg off, he'd just wrap a belt around the end, tie it down, pick up his leg and say, okay, I'll go to the doctor when I'm done. I'm busy. But it was hurting him so bad that he was just crying. And he doesn't do that. So there was something seriously wrong. But they shipped him off to, he's at his 3rd hospital now. They're trying to find out what's wrong. Either he's got a massive infection. His family takes care of my kids. And he's in the hospital. His wife's in the hospital with him. Thank goodness they have adult children who are able to take care of my children while this is going on. Because, with my physical condition and the stuff going on in my life, I can barely take care of myself, let alone take care of my kids. Which kills me. Well. See, this is the depressing episode. All these are. In my life, I can't even remember huge portions of my life. From like 94 to 2000, I can remember a couple months. And 6 years gone. And then my life was okay while here I am saying my life was okay while my wife was dying. Compared, I was okay. But at the time, I was slowly losing my mobility from pain, from my back injury, from fibromyalgia, where I'm slowly becoming couch-bound because I can't move because I'm hurting. And I'm saying I'm okay because it's my wife that's the one that's hurting. One of the reasons I was in such bad shape when I got to the end. I never took care of myself. I took care of her. Which is never smart. You got to take care of yourself too. Because you can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. So yeah, I'm worried to death. And of course, the house that I'm living in, I haven't paid, but made one house payment in almost a year of almost $500. The rest of it, I've been living in this house without paying for it. But I've also been working with the bank to try and get a mortgage adjustment to see if I could stay here in this house and pay for it. Because I want to pay for it. I can't even remember why I brought that back. It's almost like I'm being affected by some very, very primo marijuana. That's what it is. You gotta keep smiling. You gotta. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. Once you start crying, it's hard to stop. So you gotta laugh. It's only life. There ain't one of us that gets out of this alive. So it's okay. As long as I'm alive, then things are okay. I'm not homeless yet. I'm not dead yet. I got all sorts of good stuff going on in my life. There's positives. I'm alive. That's a good thing. That's a plus right there. Thank you all very much for listening to this extremely depressing, boring episode of my life in pictures and words. If you've liked what you've seen, if you've liked what you've heard, please leave me a like down below. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I read them all. I'm doing this one out of order today. And if you haven't subscribed, why not? Now's the perfect time. I think I was going to say more, but I forgot. Oh, yeah. And why not share the video? I'm sure you can think of somebody that might enjoy it. I'm sure you can think of somebody that you might want to depress into cutting their wrists. Thank you all very, very much. And I'll see you on the flip side.